What's good, family? So, this is your sister, Riziki Zafira.
In effect.
Welcome. So, I wanted to do this live feed. Oh, snap. Y'all can see my little, drawing. I was trying to save that, but, yeah, so I wanted to talk today about prostate health. What's up, brother Idris Aktiasu Bey? What's good? Thank you for joining us, brother. I do definitely encourage more men to join this feed because this is very important. I keep seeing these memes and stuff on Facebook. And it, kind of ruffles my feathers a little bit because the way that it's being shown, it's discouraging men. I'm like, oh my God, that shit is gay and all this other stuff. So I just want to bring some clarity, as to the importance of prostate health. If you don't know what your prostate is, you're going to learn today. If you don't know the functions of your prostate, you're going to learn today. If you don't know why it's important to tend to your prostate, you're going to learn today. You're going to learn some benefits. And for the women who are learning or joining me, we're definitely going to, am I freezing? Okay. We're definitely going to go over part of a technique, okay? Now, I'm not going to go in depth because a lot of this I will be teaching in my upcoming Grand Trine class. And we definitely do energetic healing, Tantra healing. And one of the things that we learn is prostate health, activating the prostate. We learn about activating the penis. We also understand about activating the G-spot. For the non-orgasmic female. So this is like the second part of it. So I don't want to take up too many people's time, and I'm not going to give a lot of information, mainly because, Facebook be hating sometimes and people want to report stuff. So whatever. But I definitely go more in depth into this when I start my Awakening the Blueprint course, which starts in June. I'll be sure to post the link. As a matter of fact, y'all can go to my website, rizikizafira.com, so that you can learn more about the class. Hold on one second. Let me post this link for y'all real quick. So another thing, I definitely took interest in learning this because, I'm not going to lie, y'all. We grown. I hope we all grown here. But, it's not my first time around the corner dealing with a prostate. Okay, so I'm just going to be honest about that. So when I learn more of the benefits about it and when it's actually doing, I was just like, okay, well, yeah, I definitely think more women should learn this, and we should educate our men more about it. Now, I'm going to say this, and I want to be very clear. This is not saying, hey, you are required to get what I'm about to show you done. This is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this is an option. This is a more direct method versus the indirect method, which may take a little longer to achieve the things that you would like to achieve. Okay, so, all right, here we go. First things is first. What is the prostate? And I'm going to start with the men first because there's always things dealing with women. So I definitely want to look out for our men. And this is just, I really hope that you guys take what I'm talking about today and learn something from it and just dispel a lot of this stupidness that's surrounding this topic. All right, what is the prostate? So first and foremost, the prostate is a small gland that is a part of the male reproductive system. All right. Finding the prostate, many say it's like the shape of a walnut or it feels like the tip of a nose, but I've come to learn that's not always true, and I have a particular method that's easier for me to find the prostate inside of a man based on his shape, his size, his body structure, whatever the case may be. The prostate actually helps make some of the fluid that is in semen, and of course, you know, that is what carries the sperm from your testicles when you ejaculate. Okay, so again, the prostate is a male reproductive organ. It's a part of, the male reproductive system. You know, again, it varies in shapes and size. Sometimes a walnut, sometimes, you know, it could just feel like this little part of the tip of the nose, you know, and again, it makes some of the fluid in the semen. It helps make some of the fluid in the semen. And another thing is, especially learning where the prostate is, and we'll get into that in a second. This is a gland that rests below the bladder and in front of the rectum. And again, I'll show that in a second. And it surrounds a part of the man's urethra, okay, which is, you know, definitely, you know, in the penis, of course. And this is what, you know, carries the pee from your bladder, you know. So we all know what a urethra is. I'm not going to go into that. So the next thing is, why is prostate health important? Or getting this particular technique done. Why do people get their prostate dealt with in the first place? Well, as far as like straight up medicinal reasons, especially for men, they're always encouraged to go get their prostate checked around 50 years old. There's been a high rise of prostate cancer, especially in the African American community. And as you get older, your prostate can start to get larger. Okay. So it could go from a walnut to a size of an apricot to like a size of a lemon, right? And so because the prostate surrounds part of a man's urethra, it could squeeze that tube. And this is one of the things that, you know, can prohibit a man from peeing. And also this particular gland does have a lot to do with helping the blood circulation in the sexual organs to help a man, you know, actually maintain his erection. Okay, so this also is a gland that helps a man achieve full body orgasms. All right, so there's definitely a medicinal side to this. As far as, again, you know, when you get your prostate checked, they want to make sure you're not risking the risk of being in, you know, having prostate cancer, you know, and again, a lot of men are getting this, and, you know, they're passing from it, or they're getting things stuck all up in them, so forth and so on, and that's just not healthy. And so I don't want to say, it doesn't have to be like every day, right? But there are men who regularly get their prostates serviced, if you will, because of their benefits as far as them wanting to prevent prostate cancer or actually help them with their sexual organs, okay? Again, healthy blood flow in your reproductive organs as a male does help you maintain erection, okay? Now, some men who suffer erectile dysfunction, this method has helped them maintain their erection, not having ejaculation problems or early ejaculation, quote unquote, issues, stuff like that. All right. Now, again, I know I'm going to lose a lot of men on my friends list. It's okay. So whatever. So what I want to talk about next. Oh, let me get back to this. Oh my goodness, the whole sexual reproductive organ. So again, some people, quote unquote, equate the prostate to the prostate to the female G-spot, only because of the similarities of experience that you get with the two. So, you know, of course, with the female, if you deal with her G-spot, you know, she squirts, okay? She can definitely have an orgasm. And when you deal with the male of the prostate, it's the same thing. As a matter of fact, when the prostate massage is done correctly, like you definitely have the prostate massage that deals with enhancing sexual pleasure. And then you also have prostate massage that deals with you getting milked. Now, Riziki, what the frick is milked? Like, I'm a human, I'm not a cow. How can a man get milked? Well, what happens is when a man's prostate massage is actually done correctly, when next time he goes to urinate, rather, it could be later that night or in the morning, there's another kind of fluidy kind of thingy that comes out, and it's like helping clear toxins and stuff. But again, I don't want to go deep into that. Y'all get my point, okay? Research on prostate health, all that other stuff. Okay, so the next thing I want to clear up before I actually get into the how is the notion that, yo, son, this shit is gay. Okay, this is the biggest reason why men are not okay with getting their prostate checked either by a doctor or experiencing the prostate as an erogenous zone. Because even if it's done by a woman, it is gay. Now, you know how terms change every so often. So y'all educate me if I'm wrong. Okay, but the last time I looked up gay, hey Shazi, what's up, Monica, what's up, Idris and Lucky? Okay, so the last time I looked up gay, okay, I thought gay meant between two men. So I took the liberty in doing my own research. Okay, I got the Merriam dictionary, you know what I'm talking about, and I was like, all right, let me make sure, because it's 2017, you know, I want to make sure I'm up to date. So when I looked up gay, it says homosexual, of, relating to, or used by homosexuals, okay, characterized by a tendency to direct sexual desire toward another of the same sex. A homosexual man was involved in a homosexual relationship. Okay. Of, relating to, or involving sexual activities between persons of the same sex. Okay. So again, y'all, I wanted to look up homosexual and gay. All right. So what I got from these definitions, okay, is that homosexual simply means, okay, two people of the same gender engaging in sexual acts. All right. Gay specifies it because now we're dealing with two men engaging in a sexual act. So my question to the public is, if a woman performs a prostate massage or a quote unquote whatever, like, you know, the woman you're intimate with, for the reasons I just went over as far as the health, the benefits, and all that other stuff, is that as gay as you going to a doctor, and it may be a man, sticking certain foreign objects in your anus, and he hasn't even taken you out for a dinner and a movie? Like, y'all ain't even Netflix and chill. That is unbelievable. All right, so I just wanted to clear that up. Let me check the comments to make sure I'm not tripping, okay, to make sure if anybody else knows any other definition of gay. All right, what's up, Brandon? Let me know, because I definitely want to, I want to make sure I'm on point. Okay, so no one else has any other definitions of gay. We can all agree that gay is two men engaging in a sexual act. No. Okay, cool. So we can move on. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is, all right, Riziki, how do I do the prostate massage? See, now, I don't know if y'all ready for this, okay? Are y'all ready for this? Because this is important. And you know what? The reason why I'm doing this video is because, like, okay, let me tell you why, and then I'm going to get into this. So I see memes about, you know, this kind of interaction between a man and a woman and the man's prostate. And so it's a whole bunch of, and I know men happily married. From what I can tell, they're not gay. From what their wives can tell, they're not gay. Even before I was in Atlanta, okay, because I know Atlanta's like a hub for gay men or whatever, but, you know, I've never known these brothers to be gay. However, they do allow their wives to tickle their fancy. This is what we're going to call it, okay? No, we're grown. Tickle their prostate, all right? Because they have experienced the full body orgasm that it contributes to, all right? So, so the reason why I'm doing this is because if people are already doing it, I also want you to understand how to milk him, okay? It's one thing, yeah, you can do it for sexual pleasure, that's great, but also, understanding the milking process so that, you're also contributing to his health just as much as his full body orgasm. Okay, so are y'all ready? Because, are y'all ready? We ready. Okay, I got my prostate milk. Get it, y'all. Get it, y'all Morris. I am definitely not gay. So for people who do not know, the class that I'm teaching, I was taught a lot of what I know from Yao Morris that y'all see on my comments. He also wrote these awesome books. Hold on, let me get them real quick. And this has really helped me in my work as an energy healer. This has helped me in my work as me healing myself and being able to use astrology as another means to help my clients and understand like what houses are damaged or they're more online or whatever. So again, awakening the master feminine. Okay. As a matter of fact, y'all, if you're still watching, well, you could put that in your comments, but awakening the master feminine deals with the 4 houses of the women. And again, a lot of these concepts, we go deeper into my tier 1 Tantra class. Okay. So we're going to be learning about the houses. We learn about the non-orgasmic female, the things that, create blockages and stuff in our sexuality. But see that I want to, smash this idea that Tantra is just only about sex. I use certain methods that I've learned in Tantra or in Grand Trine to help me with my economical situation, rather in me doing energy work or learning certain manifestation techniques or getting energy work so I can clear out the blockages from my energy body so that the universe, spirit, God, whatever, can send me what I'm supposed to get so I can receive it. Okay, so I've literally transformed like my fears and the things that held me back in maintaining healthy relationships, rather it be personal or business, whatever. Okay, so the next book is Awakening the Master Masculine. All right, for the past 2 months or 3 months, ever since really I got these books, every client that I have, I always recommend these books. Always. This helps me understand men. This helps me understand myself. And this way we're able to build better families. All right. So Awakening the Master Feminine, Awakening the Master Masculine. I definitely suggest you all get this. Like for those who are in the nonprofit work, or we really need more, mystery schools, more initiation programs to produce better and productive members of society. This is all about becoming the highest and best version of yourself. Okay, now here we go. So now let's go to my drawing sucks, y'all. I love y'all very much, so I tried to do my little drawing so that y'all can kind of get a flow of what I'm talking about. Okay, hold on, let me make sure that okay, so y'all can see me. Bam. All right, so I have some mess on my couch, but it's okay, like y'all love me anyway. Okay, so let me make sure I can go down. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, right? Oh God, I thought this was more up. Okay, so the first thing y'all want to do is, especially the man, okay? Yo, bruh, I'm going to need you to clean up down there. Wait. I'm going to need you to clean up down there. Wait. Down here. All up and through here. That little part right there is supposed to be the actual, the colon, right? Where, your waste come from. So normally when I am teaching someone how to perform a prostate massage, and again, first things first, make sure that's clean. Okay. Go ahead and pee. If you got a boo-boo, if you gotta do a number 2, that's cool too. Okay. For women, you definitely want to keep your nails short and trim. Okay. Because inside the tissues are very sensitive. Okay. If it's your mate, you may go in bare. For those who may practice this or give a demonstration and isn't comfortable, because it's technically illegal to charge for prostate massages. Okay, I'm going to be clear because I don't know who's watching and I don't need to legally get in trouble. So let me go ahead and say that. So you definitely want to strap up with a glove. All right, here we go. All right, are y'all feeling me so far? Is this too much? Can I go on? Like, I don't want y'all to be like, Rizzy is freaking tripping. But you know what? I've been feeling so good. And can you put the names of the books in the comments section? Okay, yeah, Shazi, I will before I actually log off. Okay, all right, cool. So let me go ahead and move on. But again, awakening the master feminine. Okay, if y'all Google grand trine, like grand, like yeah, this is such a grand good time, and trine, TRINE, you can find the site, and then you know, you can go to the store tab and go there. So again, awakening the master feminine. Like I reread these books. I've read this one like twice already. The Awakening the Master Masculine like twice. I just keep, you know, like it's good. So awakening the master feminine and awakening the master masculine. Now there's a lot of other books out there, you know, that talk about some of the things that are in this book, but majority of it you know, you're not gonna really find anywhere else. All right, so here we go. So the first thing that can be difficult is that, you know, actually locating where the prostate is. Now, as an energy worker, it's easier for me. And people who are in this class that's enrolling, if that's enrolling in the class, you're going to start to be able to understand how to feel things through how you give, how can I say, how you give energetically. For instance, before I even go in deal with this area, what is this on my computer? Okay, I start with a little bit of energy work, okay? Now, there's certain meridians on the body that I'll start with. I'll start infusing energy, and then also I may, like, you know, what we call shining or start spiraling in his root area. Sometimes I may place my hand, wait, it would be like this. Okay, sometimes I would place my hand like this in the space between the scrotum and the anus. I start projecting energy there because now I can start to feel his prostate pulsate from outside of his body. So when I go in, okay, are y'all feeling me so far? When I go in, I'm not all like, oh, you know, where is it? Looking around and stuff. Come on, you don't want to do all that, you know, especially if the brother don't swing that way. You know, you're just not going to be all willy-nilly up in there. Okay, so this is real talk. Now, if you can't manage, please don't be on the feed, okay? Don't be on the feed, all right? Okay, so here we go. Because this is grown folk talk. This is what happens, you know. By the way my planets is set up, you know, I like talking about stuff that's taboo. That's just what I do. All right, so I'm able to now, like, project here. Can y'all see that? This is supposed to be his scrotum sac. Right here, do I need to, like, move my desk closer? Okay, so let me do this. So this is his scrotum sac. All right, this is his anus, and that space between there, I will project. I'll project, and I'll start to feel pulsating. All right. So after I you know, got my nails clipped, everything's lubed up. Rather, you know, I'm barehanded, or I got my glove, and he's on his back. Cause here's another thing. Most people be like, yo, son, yo, that's gay. I ain't about to be bending over or have my legs up in the air like a little bee. All right, so in this position, you don't have to do that. It's so funny. I feel you, though. I feel you. Okay, so he's on the back. He's on his back. He's like, bam. He's like, bam. All right. Now, I only lift the leg up a little, and I put my leg under his so he is resting comfortably, okay? As I go into the anus, I go up, I start to tickle the prostate. All right. Now, for a milking, you may want to do 1 to 2 minutes there. Now, this is if you're not doing any kind of energy projection because you ain't there yet. Well, you could be there yet, but, you know, all right. I will start projecting to the prostate. So in the event he's not comfortable with tickling, I can just, you know, send some energy and it'll start, you know, whoom. Now, another thing that goes along with this is a lingam massage, okay? Because as a couple, your goal may also to be, you know, to have him experience a full body orgasm. So in the link, before you even do this procedure, you may give a little lingam massage. You may, you know, massage around the areas of the thighs because there's certain veins and stuff I didn't draw here that helps the blood flow to the penis. Okay, you want to massage, you know, all here as well, like all this, you know, that helps blood flow to the penis. You may massage the scrotum. Hey, you got to break up any blockages in that thing, man. Hey, there's nothing wrong, because if you're in a relationship with him, you're going to be having sex with his sexual organs. So you definitely want to make sure that you play a part in the health of his sexual organs, because it's going to be in you in some way or form or fashion, okay? So you can massage the balls, you could scrotum, you could, you know, massage the penis. And if you are familiar with genital reflexology, which is something else we learned, we also learn how, you know, the penis, the different chambers relate to the kidneys, the bladder, the lungs, the heart, things of that nature. So you are definitely able to project energy all in the scrotum, all in the penis. You know, you could do all of that, all right? And then when he's aroused and he's like, dun, da, 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 you know, that's when you can start working your way, you know, in this area. And you just don't want to force your way in there because that's too masculine. You want to ease your way in there, okay? And I know I'm grossing some people out, but like I said, get off my feed. Okay, this is for people who want to know, because there's people who's out there who really want to know, but they be scared to talk about it because, like, oh my God, I'm going to get judged. I don't care about none of that. I am who I am. I do what I do, and hey, that is what it is. Okay, so yeah, so lingam massage. So then, as you are, you know, in there, and you can feel this thing pulsate. It's pulsating like crazy. You just want to do a gentle motion. Okay, you're not effing him, okay, because there's still ways to do this without emasculating him. I think that's another fear, that men feel so emasculated when they get penetrated, because only women are supposed to be penetrated. All right, and so after a while, you know, he'll start, you know, feeling it, and if the more comfortable he gets, so forth and so on, you know, and then there's explosions that happen, all sorts of stuff. Again, I won't get in too deep. We'll definitely go deeper in the class. We also have an awesome participant for live demonstrations, you know, and yeah, so I'll leave that there. Okay, so is there any questions on the prostate health? Okay. It's natural, nothing taboo about it. Okay, cool. All right. Thank you. What's up, Yakimi? All right, Lita. Okay, cool. All right, so that's cool. Now, we understand about the prostate health. Now, the funny part is, okay, and I can't draw, y'all, so, all right, so if we, oh, okay, one last thing outside of the prostate exam. So in class, we also learn about activating the penis. Okay, remember I talked about genital reflexology? There's so many nerve endings, okay, especially in the head of the penis and, you know, all the other stuff, especially under the rim and everything like that. And sometimes the way we treat our sexual organs, we beat it up that we actually desensitize ourselves. So sometimes we're not even experiencing like the full, you know, the full pleasure that our sexual organs are supposed to that our sexual organs are supposed to feel, even down to the vagina. Okay, so like even if we erase this penis right here, okay, and we brought this down, and then we erase this scrotum, and you know, because the penis is no more there, we're gonna put the clitoris, Okay, and because the scrotum's no longer there, we're gonna do the lips. Now, this is a horrible looking vagina. I've seen more penises than vaginas, so I'm not able to draw a vagina as much, as good as a penis. Okay, but y'all get my point. Okay, so here's a vagina, here's a clitoris, here's like the other lips, and okay, the clitoris is like totally over there. Okay, and then you have like a little hole there, and then we'll just say still that that's her, you know, her anus. And so this is why the prostate is sometimes compared to the G-spot, because the G-spot in the woman, okay, it's like this is her vaginal hole and stuff like that, is almost like in the same place as the prostate would be in a male. Okay, like almost, not all the way quite, but this is why. And because the prostate helps a man with his full body orgasm, and the G-spot helps a woman with a full body orgasm and like squirting and all that stuff. This is why people compare the two. So, you know, this also really helped me understand more how our genitalia in some shape, form, or fashion are like inversions of another, okay? So even for our brothers, okay, who may be watching this, we also learn how to activate the G-spot. Now it's here when we get into the non-orgasmic female, because I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all know I don't spread my business like that. But I'm about to be 33 next month, and I just squirted my first time ever last year. I was like, you know, my vagina was broken. Let's just be honest. Broken in the sense of I was not aware of how much feeling or sensation I was missing until I started getting more of this energetic healing, you know, getting my G-spot activated, getting my breast activated. I had my first nipple orgasm. I mean, even the nipples have a lot of, you know, nerves and all that other stuff. And again, we learn about all of that, okay, in my class. Now there are three tiers, and I'm definitely doing tier 1, and you know, after a while I'll definitely start doing tier 2. But it's definitely important for you guys to understand not only like the physical importance of your organs and energy body, but also the spiritual. So going back real quick to the non-orgasmic female, this is another reason why I really love this book. The more I started activating my houses, which you learn about in the book and in the class, the more orgasmic I became. The more receptive to feeling, not just feeling in sex, but going outside and just like enjoying things more, or like being able to feel things before they happen, or, you know, my heightened intuition, or, you know, even me improving myself as far as career or business, my network circle. It's like Tantra is just way more than sex. It's literally a state of being. And because sexual energy is the most creative energy on the planet, there's a lot of powerful blockages that can be removed. There's a lot of manifestation, a lot of healing that can be done through sexual energy, okay? Again, another thing we learn is definitely like while you're activating a penis, a prostate, or a G-spot, or the breast, you're also able to, you know, send intelligence into a person while they're in an orgasmic state. This is why sex magic works. When masculine and feminine energy is intertwined in an energy that is so creative and powerful, if it can make a baby, it can manifest things, you know. And so again, when you're on the table, you're getting this treatment, rather it be through touch or non-touch, because I want to be clear on that too. Like you can send energy to a prostate without touching. Everything I showed you can also be done hands-free, okay? When people do it hands-on, it's just more of a direct, like you like not having to get all of these sessions. Instead, you could just go direct, you know what I mean? It's more direct instead of indirect. So I want to be clear on that, okay? Not all exercises have to be done with hands-on. If you're not comfortable with the person who may need a practice on you, then it can be hands off, okay? But you definitely got to build up your chi energy. You got to definitely be able to work on your ability to project. All right, so okay, so yeah, a little bit about the now as far as the G-spot activation, okay, so well, I didn't even talk about penis or prostate activation. I just talked about massage. So I'm not going to talk about the activations, because there's actually like a ritual preparation and everything that goes on with that. And we definitely, just because of certain liability purposes, I offer that as a separate part of the class, okay? Because I don't want nobody to be like, yo, I was enrolled in Riziki class and, like people was touching them. No, all right? So if that's something that you want to do, then I will set up something separately. Our class set up something separately. I had female activations done at my house. The male activations were done at our teacher's house, but it was a separate part of the class because, again, liability, and it's just been people. Okay, so anyway, that's that. All right, so let me see if there's any questions before I peace out, because I've been on here for like almost 40 minutes, and I just want to make sure there are no other. Yeah, okay, so can any woman squirt? All right, yes, they do have to take the class. Miriam Pierce McPherson, I freaking love her. Okay. I'm so fired, girl. Oh my God. Okay. You already know. I ain't even gonna say it. I'm gonna just do it. Okay. Okay, Brandon Chapman, can any woman, all women squirt? And the answer is yes, all women have the ability to squirt, but a lot of women have been sexually repressed, suppressed, shut down, abused, abandoned, rejected. It shuts down certain faculties in order for them to feel vulnerable enough to actually experience pleasure. I noticed that I experience the most pleasure when I don't care how my face looks, if I'm making a noise or if I'm rubbing on my body, and we have, I guess in a way been trained, we have to look all porn or pretty, like, we don't want to make the ugly face. Girl, boo, ain't nobody, turn the lights off then if you don't want to see how my face looks sometimes, okay? Because I'm not about to be up in this experience and half-ass orgasms or sexual or whatever, rather it just because we getting it in because we want to, or we trying to manifest something. That's out the window. So yes, but it's important for a man. You have to be so in tune with her body. Like some men, it's like, it's one thing to just be like, come here, girl, you know what I'm saying? Versus, yeah, girl, like you doing all the energetic foreplay and stuff even before you get into any kind of penetration. So yes, it's possible, but understand that men and women have an issue with pleasure, period. I don't care if it's sexual, if it's like someone told a joke and it's funny, but you just still like, it comes with all of these blockages that we built up through negative experiences. And again, this is why I recommend the book, because like these are things that we can see in the world on a large scale, but I like the book because it breaks it down in a way it's just easy to understand. And so each man and each woman has 4 houses that we are tasked to activate. And yes, these 4 houses got like subdivisions and stuff like that, but the goal is when you're activating these houses, you're consciously aware and living in these houses. This is when you are able to manifest more. You can feel more. You can experience more. You can create more. You can gain more. You know what I mean? My teacher said one day, and it was so crazy because I was like, duh. I was like, dang, man, I'm sitting here complaining about money. And he was like, are you serious? If you can project energy into somebody, you can project you some damn money from somewhere. I was like, man, that's so true. So, you know what I mean? It's not, again, all about sex. Okay, any other questions? You better make them faces. That's right, Emmanuel. Support my dreams and goals, baby. That's right. Oh, my goodness. Let me tell you. Now, this brother, very intelligent. He's also a Grand Tron brother. And we did a little table session during the full moon. I really love table sessions during new moon or full moon energy. And when I tell you, man, that was some explosive, creative energy. And it was nothing like, penis activation or anus or anything like that. Just literally knowing the pressure points, knowing the meridians, not pressure points, but knowing the meridians, knowing, the chant, the mantras, and being in tune with his body, feeling the pulsations and certain meridians and parts, and directing energy, and, activating what we call the tower and sending that energy all up and down the kundalinis. Like, man, that stuff is freaking powerful, y'all. I've been on the table. Hey, I'm gonna be real. I've been on the table. I done heard voices. I done seen visions. I have cried and yelled so much I actually felt like an entity or something leave my body. I have convulsed. We have done breathing exercises where like stuff actually came out of my vagina because it was like trauma that was still in there, you know. I mean, it's freaking amazing, y'all. So again, I don't want to sit there and waste y'all, or not waste y'all time, because this was good information. I know this wasn't a waste. But I really do encourage everybody, like with what's all that's going on, rather it be in your personal life, marriage, business, community, nation, just understand that, you know, as we're doing all this physical work, we also have to take care of our energy bodies. Okay. We walk outside or being around people in environments that will bring shit, blockages, debris into your aura, man. Like you gotta work on clearing that stuff out. Like you ain't about to sit up here and block me. And I'm so grateful. I literally, like I said, resigned from my job without knowing what, you know, I had an idea, but I ain't have no other solid plan B. And I'm grateful to be able to have been working for myself this long, you know, and not really lose. Yeah, my car got repoed, but you know what? I manifested another one. And I'm grateful because it's like, thank you. I don't want no damn payments, no way. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, so that's that. Okay, y'all. So any other questions before I go away? Okay, you're welcome, Brandon. Let me see. I thought I had something in my inbox. No, I don't. Shazi, you should have your audio recording by now. Do you know? Okay, wait, hold on. Do I know the relationship? Hold on. Okay, all right, had nothing to do with that. All right, y'all, so thanks again for watching. I hope you learned something, and I hope that the whole stigmatism, or whatever you want to call that, around men having healthy prostates, can y'all just stop? Because again, it's not gay if a woman is doing it. I mean, you'd have to be a man having sexual relations with another man. I mean, that's just according to the Webster's Dictionary. Like I said, it's 2017. Who knows the new definitions and stuff that's out there? Okay. The non-orgasmic female, again, with energy work, with, you know, healthy associations with your sexual organs, rather it be through an energy session, or touch or non-touch, through, you know, activation, stuff like that. You know, that's, you know, I definitely want you to experience the highest and best version of yourself. And the more you reach that, the more orgasmic you become. And again, Awakening the Blueprint. If you guys are interested in taking my course, I'm also going to give you this other site that allows you to do payment options. I do accept payment options as well, because, you know, I had to do a payment option, so I ain't going to sit here and act like y'all may not benefit from a payment option. But, again, this experience has been really dope for me. I love it. Like I said, graduated tier 3. We waiting on that tier 4, 5, 6, and 7, but, you know, it's all good. This definitely, like I said, helped me a lot. So, 1 second. Let me post this link for y'all, and then I'm going to sign out, just so that you can get more information. Oh, and I want to post, if you guys do not know what an energy session can look like, not all of them look like this, but I'm going to post that in the comments as well, just in case you did not see it. Hold on, y'all. Okay. All right. So that, oh no, that is not what happened. Hey, boo boo. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Okay. So this is the site. All right, with the, oh my gosh, why is it doing that? Okay, so Grand Trine, int.com, Riziki Evans, and then for those who want to check out my little energy session video. A lot of y'all already saw this, so but you could also check out my YouTube channel just so you can understand, like, you know, the different uses of Tantra and stuff like that. And again, there's different forms of Tantra. There's, you know, Tantra that originated from the Hindu culture, from the Buddhist culture, from, you know, you have certain kind of ancient practices from Native Americans, South or Asians, Cambodia or whatever, you know, from Africa as well. And we currently coined that Tantra. Okay, because people be like, yo, that ain't real Tantra. But I'm like, listen, we meet people where they are. So if he was like, yo, we going to teach you how to cultivate sexual energy and infuse intelligence in your kundalini so that, you know, you can heal your counterfeit personality and activate, you know, you're going to be like, what are you talking about? So bam, Tantra. That's, people know that. That's cool. No disrespect to any other schools of thought, but that's just what that is. All right, so keep enjoying this new moon energy. Peace and love, and deuces.